Okay, karma, like what is it? I think it's cause and effect. Let's say you have a pond, and a pond is an infinite pool of possibilities, and you throw an experience in there, how you relate to an experience. Let's say you get in a car wreck, and how you respond. You get out of your car, you go to approach the person in front of you. Let's say it was their fault. You can be really angry at them or very peaceful with them, knowing that we all make mistakes. Each one then impacts, let's say, it's cause and effect. The cause of being kind to someone might have a good effect later on in their life. They might sit there and think next time if they ever get in a wreck or an altercation with someone that they need to be as mellow as the person that treated them. Or if you're angry, they might sit there and think that they need to be peaceful to someone, if mistakes are made. Or, so it's kind of like if you're angry or if you're peaceful, it might actually create anger or peace within another. If you're angry, that might create the effect where that person then goes off and is angry to someone else. So it's almost like you really have to think. This really makes you think about your actions in life. Cause and effect. It's like if I can have a positive effect over someone's experience in life, or an experience I have with another, I should say. I don't want to sound like manipulative, like you're controlling someone else's experience in life, because that's not possible. I mean, it's really not possible when you think about it, because somebody can just get up and walk away. But anyway, the point is this. You're throwing your stone within a pond of infinite possibility. And you're creating ripples, and those ripples are going on to impact other things within the pond, other things in your reality. So it's kind of like, what kind of ripples do you want to put out there? You could put out some really bad stuff, and that could cause some really bad stuff to happen. Let's say you throw a stone, and it creates a big ripple. You throw out a bunch of anger, and it creates this huge ripple in this pond. And then that goes on to get blown by waves. Waves are other people's, that goes on to get blown by air. The air pushes behind the ripple and creates a wave. That wave then hits other things within that pond, eventually hitting someone's house, and it's like a tsunami, it destroys the whole house. So it's like that could be, you aren't that angry at someone, but they think you are. So then they go act very angry to someone, and then the someone that they're angry with goes off and snaps, and then goes and does something very wrong. They go and harm someone in some physical way. They go shoot something up, they go plow their car into something, they go beat someone up or something like that. So sometimes you really have to think. This makes you think about cause and effect. The ripples we put out there, what are going to be the impacts of those things? You have a lot of people that hide behind the lie of what karma is, that it's some justified action you use towards someone to teach someone a lesson. And that is, it's like you're sitting there thinking that you're going to deal some of their karma. It's not karma, though. You're basically, and someone's trying to be vengeful, let's say. You think you're going to go deal some of their karma, and you're going to teach them some lesson, but then you just end up creating a criminal of the person, and they go off and do these horrible things. You're not thinking about the cause and effect of your actions. It's like somebody says, well, there's a parent with a kid, and the kid's is in society robbing people, addicted to hard drugs, and you don't like the kid. So then you go beat the crap out of the kid and put him in traction, put him in the hospital. And then that kid's parents, who had nothing to do with this kid, just went back. He just had the wrong friends. You are who your friends are, type thing. The parents were fine. They never had any issues with anybody. They're upstanding people of their community. They just kind of lost control of their kid. You're then impacting their life to where they have to pay bills for this kid in traction. They have to grieve for their son. So a lot of people don't think like that. They don't think of the cause and effect. They think they're dealing some sort of vigilante justice. But in reality, what they could be doing is actually accruing or building up in their own life a bunch of negative karma when they think they're dealing positive karma. Now, I don't like to speak in certain terminologies. Again, I'm not an atheist or a theist. I'm just a free thinker, having a conscious experience here on planet Earth, and just doing my best. And I'm not perfect, but just doing my best to just survive and put peace out there. I've had times in my past, I've had less than stellar actions, as I'm sure we all have. That's part of growing up. The parent says don't touch the pot on the stove, And the only way you learn that lesson is by being rebellious sometimes. So we've all been there. That's, youth for a lot of people. The parent says it's hot, don't you see the water boiling? Can't you feel the heat? You don't really know what that experience is until you touch the pot and you're scalded by it. And then it's like, oh wow, now your fingers, the flesh is burnt. You actually have the experience of really, what that's about. So that works. This is why we all make ourselves, I think, like process of individuation, like what Jung talks about. It's like we can hear advice, but how do you know what advice is without our own personal conscious experience of something? That's why everybody's not one belief structure, why everyone's not a Christian or everyone's not an atheist. It's because we're all having our own conscious experience of stuff and then seeing truth within it. And why it seems like the only real answer in life to those, major questions, which, aren't always wise to ask. Why I say that is in life, there's not like, what's the word? There's not going to be one answer for somebody. It's like, think of ocean. Like, I was boogie boarding this morning down here in Oceanside with a pier. And when you think about it, it's like you have all those people out there sharing the ocean. They're there to surf, to boogie board, to do whatever, to surf, let's say. Because, you're surfing on a boogie board, same thing. But it's just one standing up, one's laying. But anyway, the point is this, is that you're there to share the ocean. To share the ocean, coexist in peace. You're not there to debate politics, religious affiliations, sexual orientations. You're there to enjoy the ocean. That's what you came to the ocean for. To enjoy it in peace with other people that like enjoying the ocean. So in life, or in anywhere you're at, is like the ocean. You're there to enjoy life with other people. Everything related to religion, everything related to politics, everything related to someone's sexual orientation or, whatever, some sort of affiliation. As long as what you're doing isn't necessarily like harmful to like other people's, you're not walking around with like a firearm hanging out of your belt, like shooting it off in, in the city limits. You're not like yelling at people of other ethnicities or other, whatever, that their ethnicity is less than you or better than you or something. You're not robbing stores thinking you're entitled to something, then you really should just be at peace with others. It's not hard to figure out. It's not up for somebody to decide the big, the issues like that. If you live in some sort of artificial reality, it's irrelevant. If you believe in some sort of artificial, reality theory, if you believe in creationism, if you believe in Darwinian evolution, it's irrelevant to you having a good experience, which is, related to coexisting in peace with others, because you really can't convince anybody, no matter how strong the evidence you have for something, what the world is essentially made of. Other people have to figure that out on their own, and that's actually a sign of respect to other people, to give them that benefit of the doubt, that respect just in general, to let people figure that out. You're not trying to violate their free will. So in relation to karma, you think it's a huge thing, like cause and effect. You can't be the one to set people straight, because when you do that, we have people at police, judges, juries, people that handle certain things within our reality to help instill order. It's not up for people to go around and have vigilante justice and try to harm people and think of this, their right and it's someone else's karma. They have to pay for something that they've done. Because eventually it's just going to cause some sort of issue with people, where people are going to be turning back on one another. It doesn't matter if someone sees the hand of God, some deity come down and touch their life and heal someone of cancer. There's always going to be people that say, well, it just was some fluke. It just happened. It didn't actually happen, type thing. Or somebody says, oh, I believe we're in some artificial world that's created by some alien, artificial world creator someplace that are living in some ancestor artificial world. That's great. That's your opinion. It doesn't matter how much proof you have. Your opinion really doesn't convince everybody. You have people nowadays that look at evolution that think, the devil planted fossils places. You have people that look at, evolution and think it's the 100% truth. You have people that look at, the sun as a real living deity. You have people that look at the moon as some goddess. So I'm not insulting those things. What I'm getting at is that's part of what life is. To truly live, to be alive, is to understand that people have those differences of opinion, and that's okay for them to have that. It doesn't matter if you think some sort of human creation is worthy of deification or some sort of supernatural element is, worthy of deification, you can't convince everybody of that. So why do you try? It's like, you can say stuff and people can hear what you say, and then if they like what you say, they can, they like what you say. But other than that, to try to convince people is a violation of basically life. It's a violation of, human or ethics. It's a violation of morality, I think. To try to convince people so much so that you do so in an abusive manner. So you have to think of cause and effect, and really what are our actions doing? Or what are we causing to happen in our reality? What are the effects of that? And I think that's a very valuable thing to think about. Anyway, it's just a thought.